I'm not a flat earther or a globe earther, but if you force me to pick one, I'd pick flat earth for the following reasons. For one, we might have a credible scientific explanation for the firmament, and if you click on this comment and watch the original video, you'll see what I mean. But to make a long story short, the ozone layer is comprised of O3. O3 freezes into a solid at 420 degrees below Fahrenheit. Outer space, and flat earthers, don't give me a hard time about that term. It's outer space. It's space out there. It's the best term we have. The temperature of outer space is negative 450 degrees Fahrenheit, making it colder than the freezing point of oxygen. Therefore, it's highly possible that that oxygen is freezing up there into a glass-like substance. When oxygen freezes, it turns a light blue. Now, if oxygen is freezing at the top layer that touches space, right below that, it would be liquid oxygen, which would, of course, explain the waters above. So how would solid and liquid oxygen stay all the way up there? Well, as soon as it got warm, it turned into a gas, and then it just flowed up there. And then it get cold again and turn into water and ice. Here's where it gets really interesting. A lot of people will tell you that the rainbow is shaped like a bow because each individual water drop is circular. That's an absolute BS lie. The water provides a screen. The rainbow is always there. We just can't see it all the time. When the rainfall happens, then we see the rainbow. So the rainbow is always a bow. And why? Because the light that is emitted from the prism reflects the shape of the prism, because we live under a convex dome prism. Now, if you subscribe to the idea that the ice wall is all around the outside edges of the Earth, again, it would explain it connecting to the frozen firmament. When we get to the edge, we get to the coldest place, out in outer space. And why is it so cold? Well, people need to understand what energy, temperature, and time actually is. There's lots of people saying that you can't have temperature without matter. That's absolutely untrue. You just can't measure it without matter. But mark my words, if you stuck your hand outside into space, it would freeze. So why does this happen? Because there's nothing energetic happening out there. Therefore, all the energy from your hand would leave and go out into space to try to equalize, right? Because nature, matter, tends to try to find equilibrium in energy, in states of matter, etc., etc. Heat is directly correlated to energy. When something is energized, it heats up, right? So when you heat up a molecule, everything gets faster in there and it starts vibrating, right? That's energy. It requires energy for the molecule to vibrate. And the faster it vibrates, the more temperature it has, the more heat it has. So if you go out where there's no energy in outer space, which is very limited because all we're getting is the radiating energy from the sun, no convection, no conduction, matter is going to get frozen into its solid state very quickly, no matter what the matter is. All matter freezes into a solid state at 0 degrees Kelvin. Outer space is 5 degrees Kelvin. You only need 5 more degrees to be at absolute zero. And what happens at absolute zero? Time stops. Literally, time doesn't exist. Because what is time? Well, time is a construct created by human beings. And we use measurement devices to measure time. But those measurement devices need to be energized, whether it's hands on a clock or the rotation of electrons on a cesium atom. That requires energy to keep it into a cyclic state. It requires that energy. If there's no energy, if there's no temperature, then time doesn't pass. Interestingly enough, heaven is thought to be a timeless place. Well, technically, if heaven is outside of this firmament plane that we exist on, that it is in fact timeless if it gets to that place where there's no temperature. And for all the haters and trolls that are going to come into the comments and try to make fun of people that are interested in this theory, or people who try to speculate on it and ask more questions, if you just come and say, oh, you're dumb, but then don't explain yourself, understand that you're the one that looks like you're dumb. Looks like you're just trying to be the bully that doesn't understand something, like we're in grade school. I'm not saying I'm entirely right about all this, but these are some interesting ideas to play with, especially since most scientists up at the top lie to us all the time. We don't know who to trust, so we're speculating based on logic. So if you're interested in having a healthy conversation with another human being, ask some questions, have conversations in the comments. And if you're going to be a jerk and a bully because you can't wrap your head around these ideas, we're just going to block you.